All right, here is the last lecture of the advanced course, and we are going to be talking about the intro to Tama control. So with Tama control, it's basically just the hole right here. The bevel is the most important part because we have to be able to spike this. So Tama control is basically keeping track of where the hole's at the whole time. To begin with this, we went over this in previous semesters, but you should be able to go from cup to cup and keep that hole in your sight the whole time and be able to get to spike from different cups. Believe it or not, this is the start of your Tama control. Just being able to track it and get it to spike from different positions is the start to this skill. And now that we have been doing juggles and things, it's going to be really important when we go to juggle to spike. So that's something we're going to cover in this video as well. And I will give you some tips on how I learned how to do this and get my Tama control pretty good in just 1 year. So some things you want to practice still end up doing here. Go juggle to cups to spike. And just try to focus on your throw with these juggles too. See where your Tama's ending up and see if you're able to kind of manipulate it a little bit with your juggles. And it's not just completely out of everywhere. At least keep it on the vertical axis. Just try to get used to keeping the hole with your toss instead of all over the place when you're juggling. Try to get that little flip to where the hole is somewhere on this axis. We don't need to, it's gonna take some practice to get this perfectly rotating to where we can land on spike, but keeping it on that vertical axis will really help when we start to do so. So practice these, practice some Ken flips. Well, I guess juggles, but Ken flip pull-ups like we were doing before. Keeping on that vertical axis. Earth turns, whirlwinds. We want to hammer whirlwinds. So we will be using them as an ender or an add-on. Now we want to get used to this high throw on the Tama. As it's rotating, we want to keep our eye on it and drill these. The more we do of this, the more we're going to get used to seeing this Tama come around in different speeds because we're used to the earth turn a little faster. We've tried this, so it's not new. So now we just need to drill it to where it's an actual trick that we can do pretty often. And we'll get used to spiking off of a rotation like this, a high rotation. And that's kind of where we're going to go into juggle to spike now. We can only do one juggle at this point, or if you've been practicing multiple, it's going to be difficult to get to spike from it. So we just want to focus on going spike to spike. This is how I learned how to get that rotation perfectly. You want to ghost the Tama, which means throwing it. You throw it, and the bevel will stay right where it was. So you can practice this toss. You don't want it to go all over the place like this. You want to throw it up and it not move at all. Just so then we can put our hand under the bevel while we throw. And I feel with my palm, I feel the hole right here, and I flip it like that, just like a little flip. And that's how I get it to spike every time. Anytime I feel the bevel on my hand, I know I can get it to spike somehow, just from practice and reps. Even if it's right here, I feel it a little bit. I know I have to throw it a little bit diagonal to get that rotation perfect. So, but ideally it lands straight in your palm and you could do a little flip. So you could practice doing this, just little flips, get it landed in your palm again. And it's that little bungee. It's not like a slap like we were talking about, because that's how it gets out of control. We cushion it and do a little flip. So, and here you can swing spike, do whatever you want, get it to spike. Or if you really just want to rep, at this point you should already be able to do swing spike, so we don't have to practice it as much. Just put the Tama on here and just drill this out. Just keep practicing. just try to feel the bevel on the bottom and do that little flip and get it as close as you can. If you can't, if you know you don't see it, cup it, then go to spike. Cup it. If it's not there and you know you can't spike it, cup it, then go to spike. And then eventually you'll get more comfortable, because even while you're cupping it, you should have it pretty close. It should be on that vertical axis still, because you're doing the right flip. So, okay, not there, cup it, still on the vertical axis. I could flip it right on the spike. And then I could assess how hard I need to throw it as well, or spin it, by where it's at on the cup. So if I hit it hard and I saw it rotated twice and it's all the way over here, I know next time I need to not spin it as fast. So I'll do a loftier one. Or if you don't spin it as much and you're like, okay, I need to spin it a little bit harder, so you give it a little bit of harder push to get it fully around on that rotation. This also just takes reps, because we know how to juggle. And this is also where you can start learning multiple juggles as well. It's really, after you've learned the basic one juggle, it's just the same principle. One goes up, one goes down. And it's the fluidity of repetition. I'm throwing the Ken the same way, throwing the Tama the same way, but at the same time I'm looking at the Tama to see where the hole's at, and whenever I feel it, I know I can spike it. Like, I didn't feel it in my palm there, but I just went for it. But anytime it's in my palm, I know I can flip it around and spike it. That's how I do it. I know Alex Mitchell does it like that. Other people go strictly off just seeing the bevel, but I think it really helps being able to feel where the hole is at. Sorry, there's some kids in my neighborhood playing outside. I don't know if you can hear it, but that's basically the intro to Tama control. I also want to cover, once we get to the masters, we're going to be covering doing spinning. So when we spin the Tama, if you're right-handed, it's obviously going to be this way. With our Tama grip, we practice with our Tama grip. We're just going to throw it up, throw it. We want this to spin, so we know exactly where the bevel's at. We know it's on the right side when we spin it. Just like a spinning spike. When we spin it, we know it's on the bottom and it's not moving, because physics. Same thing when we spin it sideways. We know it's going to be on the right side. So when I go to juggle from a spin, I know my hand, I know exactly where the bevel is at. So I put my hand here and then do my flip. So now that we've learned instas and we know how to juggle, I want you guys to start practicing an insta, spin. Just get used to the spin. It doesn't have to be perfect yet. Spin, juggle. So here. And this is going to be like, it's going to be really hard, but before we get to masters, you have to know how to do this. So this should be an advanced trick you should be able to do before you hit masters, where we're going to be going over taps and multiple juggles to spike. So keep drilling this. Just get the spin down. Get the spin down, feel the bevel, spike it. Get the spin down, juggle, spike it. You can start spinning out of other things as well. Like if you do a J-stick, just like that. But the instas is what we learned in this semester, so I kind of want to drill that as well. You could do multiple instas, spin it, juggle the spike. This is where we kind of just combine a lot of the skills that we've learned, and you kind of use your own imagination to create tricks and implement this spin. A lot of the times the spin as well will help you get this juggle around. Sometimes it'll come around perfect, but it also takes time to get to that point. But I just want to drill the spin, because once we get to taps, we're going to use that spin just like that. Let me actually land it. What the heck? We're going to use the spin and taps just like this. like that. So that was the last lecture of the advanced. Stick around for the masters, where we're going to cover taps and multiple juggles to end off this whole course. So I will see you in the masters program.